You are listening to Wilhelm, a film-centric podcast for film lovers of all kinds. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Wilhelm. I am your host, Ben Beck, and after a successful Spooktober, it's time to get back to normal business. And I couldn't think of a more rough around the edges topic to do it with than this episode's choice. Horses, cowboys, saloons, gunfights. That's right. With this week, we are talking about our choices for top 5 favorite Westerns. And I couldn't think of a better guest to rope in, pun intended, onto this one. He's a former Wilhelm guest making his return from the Panels to Pixels podcast. My friend, Steve Brown. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
I almost shut myself down with my pun. I made the pun and I was like, I don't know what to say after this now.
I was going to growl. I was going to go.
A poor Roy Kent. When you're back to speaking English, we'll talk. No, this is going to be a fun topic because I'm very interested to see where we're going to go with this. Because I brought you into the war movies because I know you're a big fan of war movies, having been in the military yourself. I know you're a big Western fan because, you know, being a fan of like Clint Eastwood and such. I have a feeling I could be completely wrong on this, but I think this is going to be interesting because I have a feeling you went, and again, probably wrong. I have a feeling you went more old school Westerns while I stayed more modern Westerns.
Yeah, you could say that. That's probably pretty close. It was tough for me not to have 5 Clint Eastwood movies
right
on here.
He's one of the two that you go to for Westerns. I mean, for me, it's either Clint Eastwood or John Wayne. Yeah.
And as much as I love John Wayne, I don't know why I never really got into his whole string. I mean, there's a few that I like, and there's actually one on my list. So, but I never really got into that, not like the Clint Eastwood ones. So,
well, again, Eastwood is the quintessential Western actor for me. I mean, he's made a ton of movies, and there will be a Wilhelm episode on Clint Eastwood for sure in the future. And I'll probably bring you back for that too.
I would love it.
You know, but like when you look at his catalog of work, we're already on the Clint Eastwood episode now. When you look at his catalog of work, out of like 100 movies, 50 of them are a mix of dramas and comedies and action and whatever. The other 50 are Westerns. Like, half of his repertoire is Westerns.
Yeah. And he's that rare actor. Maybe it's not rare, but that has pulled off the acting and directing role, you know, and that's an amazing thing to see in their career, to shift gears. And he's been actually directing, I guess. Was it Play Misty for Me? Now we're getting the Clint Eastwood episodes.
Yeah. Welcome to the Clint Eastwood episode of Wilhelm. So Westerns is a fun topic. And because you probably went more old school than I did, it means that your top 5 are probably 5 movies I've never seen before.
No, not really. I'm sure you've seen some of them.
I'm sure I probably. Yeah. You want to get into it?
Absolutely.
Cool. So let's get into our top 5. We'll gear up for doing that. But of course, before we do any of that, we have to let you know, neither Steve or myself have discussed our top 5s. So I don't know any of his. He doesn't know any of mine, as far as honorable mentions as well, which we'll go through quickly at the end. We didn't want to influence each other's choices. Also, just a fair warning, if you haven't seen one or multiple of the movies we mentioned, there's always the possibility of spoilers. So just be forewarned that could potentially happen. That said, let's dive in. Top 5 favorite Westerns. Number 5, where do you land?
Number 5 is from 1960, The Magnificent Seven.
One of my honorable mentions.
Yeah, you've got Yul Brynner, Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson. I mean, you can't beat that cast alone. And that opening scene, I think, is one of my favorite scenes in any Western, when Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen, they team up to take a body into Boot Hill so that it can be buried. That people didn't want that body to be buried in Boot Hill, and they take that task upon themselves. And that's kind of the first thing we see them do together. And it's just a fun movie. The remake was
okay. While you're on that, because I have both of them in my honorable mentions. I do have the original 1960 with Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen, and I have the 2016 version in my honorable mentions, honestly, for the cast alone, because the cast of that one was incredible. I mean, you had Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, D'Onofrio, Ethan Hawke, Matt Bomer. Like, the cast of that movie was phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I watched it, so I may need to revisit it to see if it's not on par with the original.
I agree with that. Yes,
but I'll have to revisit it and give it a fair shake.
No, I have to ask, because the Magnificent Seven in itself, even the 1960 version in itself, is actually a remake, but not in the traditional sense. It's a remake of Seven Samurai, which was a Japanese film.
Yes.
Have you at any point ever seen
I have the Criterion Collection Seven Samurai of it, and I've watched it a couple of times. It's been a while
Criterion
since I've watched it. Yeah. So yes, I have, and so I do appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot of our Westerns are remakes of samurai movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. A lot of Westerns are American remakes of Japanese films. Mm-hmm. And I will say, like, not to get too far off topic, but I did go through a short stint where I was actually watching a lot of dubbed over Japanese Westerns.
Oh, wow.
It was like a PBS kind of channel that's during certain times of the day for like 4 hours. They would do 4 like hour blocks, and like one of them was like a traditional like Korean soap opera, and then another one was like a Korean like samurai show, and then another one was like another like police story, and the fourth one was always like a Korean Western.
Oh, wow.
And I always found them so intriguing that I was just like, I don't know what they're saying, but I can't stop watching. Like, these are so much fun.
Very, very cool. There's a really good live action Lone Wolf and Cub that there's several movies were made, and I have them on disc, and they're amazing. Just really, really good. Black and white from old, I think the 60s probably, but
that's interesting. All right. So for my top 5, I'm going to be completely honest with you. My top 5, in my personal opinion, this movie belongs closer to 1.
Okay.
But I put it at number 5 because I feel like it's kind of a cop out. My number 5, Back to the Future Part 3.
Nice.
From 1990. I mean, let's be fair. It's a Western.
It is. It
is absolutely a Western. I mean, it's a Western that involves time travel, like time travelers, and a futuristic car. But in almost every sense of the word, it's a Western. It takes place almost entirely in the West.
Mm-hmm.
It has every staple of a Western. It has the gunfights. It has hangings. Like, it's got, like hoedown music. Like, it's got everything a Western has. It is a Western.
Yeah, that's great. And I love that just recently I went back and forth, and I always forget which movie it is that he's watching in Back to the Future 2 that gives him the it's either For a Few Dollars More or Fistful of Dollars.
Oh, it's Fistful of Dollars.
Is it Fistful? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Always mix up which one it is, because that you get that foreshadowing in 2 of what's going to happen in 3, it's so good.
And it's even a prime example too, that even back then, like even back in late 80s, early 90s, when the movie came out, even then, Clint Eastwood was a staple in Western movies.
Yes, he was.
Because it is the name that Marty takes to identify himself, so that he doesn't use his real name, or he says it to try and be an imposing to Buford Tavern. If Buford has no idea who the hell Clint Eastwood even is, because he hasn't been born yet.
Yeah, it's great.
But I mean, I couldn't, being the huge Back to the Future fan that I am, I couldn't not mention Back to the Future Part 3.
That's great. I wouldn't even have thought of that one. I'll be honest with you, but
right?
You're right.
Of course I did.
It fits all the criteria. So yeah,
fits all the criteria. Number 4.
So number 4 is The Outlaw Josie Wales.
Also in my honorable mentions.
Very, very. I love this Clint Eastwood. I will watch this 2 or 3 times a year. I read the book. The book is called Gone to Texas by Forrest Carter. And it's a wonderful book. And one of the things I love about the movie is the scene where he kills the 3 Confederate soldiers in the street is almost straight out of the book, even to the conversation that he has with the Indian afterwards, where the Indian says, well, how did you know which one was going to shoot? And he says all the things he says. And well, what about the one on the far right? And he says, well, I didn't worry about that. You were there. And the chief says, I could have missed. That's straight out of the book, line for line. It's just a wonderful, and I just love The Outlaw Josie Wales.
That's one that I've seen it a number of times, but it has been a long time. It's probably been over a decade since I've seen it.
So good.
That one and Hang 'em High, like those are 2 that I just haven't seen, or not Hang 'em High, Fistful of Dollars.
Yeah,
those are 2 that I haven't seen. And I'll be honest, the only reason I even saw Fistful of Dollars was because of Back to the Future. I mean, in reality, Back to the Future Part 3 introduced me to Westerns.
Oh wow, that's
because I mean, not to go back to the Future 3, but when Back to the Future 3 came out, I was 11 years old. I was never into Westerns.
Ben, don't make me feel old.
I know. Sorry. But I mean, Back to the Future 3 was the first Western I ever saw. In the sense, and it got me to watch other Westerns the older I got.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
So, but yeah, The Outlaw Josie Wales, that's such a great one. Like I said, that was in my honorable mentions.
Yeah,
for sure. My number 4 is another Western that I absolutely love. And this is one that I probably do watch every year, just like you with Outlaw Josie Wales. My number 4, I went with a Western, a Kevin Kline, Danny Glover, Kevin Costner, and Scott Glenn Western.
In my honorable mentions.
Silverado.
Yes.
I mean, come on, like how can you go wrong with a Western with like those 4 people that it's a ton of fun. And it's got John Cleese as a sheriff. Like that's
my jurisdiction ends here.
Yes. It's such a great movie. And I think
Jeff Goldblum is in it.
Jeff Goldblum, Brian Dennehy, I think, is in.
Brian Dennehy plays the evil sheriff. Yep.
Yeah, Rosanna Arquette. I mean, it's another incredibly well cast Western movie that is just a ton of fun.
Yeah, and well written. Scott Glenn and Kevin Costner playing brothers is just.
Oh, that's right, Kevin Costner. How did I not even mention Kevin Costner? I forgot about that. Yeah, it's such a great cast from all around, like from the main players to the supporting cast, and just a ton of fun. That is one I like you with Outlaw Josie Wales. Silverado is one I usually try to watch at least once a year.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched that one. I may need to drag that one out and check it out again. So,
and oddly enough, came out before Back to the Future 3.
Oh, okay.
1985.
Yeah,
it is an 80s Western. I didn't see it until after, but I promise not to keep going back to the Future 3.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Go for it. So my number 3 is the one that I mentioned earlier that I kind of took a little bit of liberty with.
Okay.
But I think it still fits. And it is both the True Grit from 1969 and the True Grit from 2010.
I agree with you. True Grit is in my honorable mentions.
I just rewatched them, both movies back to back last night, as a matter of fact, and just was so impressed by both. Like Kim Darby does a great job as Maddie, but Haley Steinfeld just steals that movie.
Wow, I forgot that was Haley Steinfeld. Like she was young.
Yep. She didn't win the Academy Award, but she got nominated for it. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like even in addition to the Haley Steinfeld, I mean, Jeff Bridges is just phenomenal in that movie.
Really great.
You know, along with Brolin and Damon, like they're so well done. I mean, and even going to the original from 69. I mean, we talked about John Wayne. That's another amazing role of John Wayne's.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so good. And the original had Robert Duvall in it, which I totally forgot until I watched it again last night. Robert Duvall plays the Ned Pepper character. And
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis
Hopper is
Dennis Hopper's in it. Yeah. Dennis Hopper plays Cheney, right?
Moon,
right. Moon, which you barely can tell is him when you look at him in his the it's just, you can barely tell, but that's great. Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, I watched them both. I've read the book that it's based on, which is really good. And just the two movies they're close enough to the same that they're definitely remakes, but they're different enough that I can separate them, in my mind and watch as two separate movies.
Yeah. Oh no, completely agree. They're both phenomenal films in each in their own right. I mean, I kind of put them together the same way I do. Going back to last episode of Wilhelm when we talked about horror movies, Dawn of the Dead. The original Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite zombie movies. However, the remake, while different, was still just as great as the original.
Yeah,
True Grit's the same thing. It's a little different, but it's still just on par with the original in my sense. My number 3 is definitely a more modern. I mean, we're going 2016, and it's not a Western in the sense of cowboys and Indians and saloons and bar fights and gunfights and things. Oh, there's definitely a gunfight. But when I say modern, like takes place today, modern.
Okay.
I went with Hell or High Water.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's a Western in the sense that takes place, in the West. There are bank robberies, there are shootouts. And literally the sheriffs that chase these two guys, played by Chris Pine and Ben Foster, are a cowboy and an Indian.
Yeah.
But it's just, this is one of those movies that I remember going to see. I remember watching the trailer and thinking, oh, that looks pretty good. And then getting offered an advanced screening to go and see it. I got offered 2 advanced screenings the same night, and I had to choose one of them. One of them was Hell or High Water, and the other one was like a big budget, I think like Hercules movie or whatever. And I remember watching the trailers to both, and I'm like, well, Hercules looks like garbage.
Right.
So I'm sure everybody's going to choose that one because it's the big budget movie, and Hell or High Water is this little indie film.
Yeah.
So I was like, so you know what? I'm going to choose Hell or High Water. Very cool. And I went and saw Hell or High Water. There were maybe 10 other people in the screening with us because everybody else went to go see this. I don't even remember if it was Hercules, but it's something along those lines.
Right.
That movie bombed, and Hell or High Water got nominated for 4 Oscars.
Yeah. Yeah. I've watched it once, so I may have to revisit it. That's another one to check out again.
It's such an interesting story too, in that it's 2 brothers, who one of them is an ex-con, and this isn't really a spoiler. This is the plot of the movie, is that they are trying to save their mother's house by paying the bank. But in order to do it, they're robbing branches of the bank that own the mortgage on their mother's house. So in essence, they're robbing the bank to pay the bank with their own money.
Right.
And it's such a and how they go about doing it, and all the action sequences of the robberies, and the plan of how they clean the money, and like how they go. It's so good. It's so brilliant. And it's just,
I need to watch it again. That's what I need to watch again.
Yeah. Nominated for 4 Oscars, had out of every award, it won 46 other awards and was nominated in total 171 times.
Wow. Okay.
Like, it is such a fantastic movie. It's one I highly recommend to people.
Okay. Very good.
Number 2.
This number 2 was probably the toughest spot for me to fill. I don't know how many different movies I slotted into number 2 before I finally fell on the one that I said, okay, this is for sure my number 2. and I don't remember the year, but it is Tombstone.
Oh, in my honorable mentions, and it is 1993.
93. Wow, I didn't realize it was that long ago. I mean, with that cast, again, we keep talking about the casting of these: Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott,
Val Kilmer,
the Michael Biehn, and just so many good actors in that. Was it Jason Priestley? Billy Zane is in it, and isn't Billy Zane is in it.
Charleston Heston. Stephen Lang, Thomas Hayden Church.
Oh,
Michael Rooker. Rooker is in Tombstone.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody knows Michael Rooker.
Yeah. There's so many, and just such a great cast and a great movie, and just Powers Booth. How can we forget Powers Booth?
Yeah, that's right.
Curly Bill and
Bill Paxton.
Oh yeah, just so many that you.
God, now I want to watch that movie. I haven't watched it in so long.
Thornton, Billy Bob Thornton, my friend and I, we constantly quote this movie back and forth from us. Where are you going with that shotgun? It's all those kind of things.
It's been probably about 15 years since I've seen that movie.
It's been a while. But yeah, Tombstone.
And I need to, that's one I'm going to have to revisit, because it's been a long time, and I need to go back. John Locke, Terry O'Quinn.
Oh, yes.
Also, he's the mayor.
Yeah.
That's a great choice. Like I said, in my honorable mentions, there's a lot of movies in my honorable mentions that deserve to be in a top 5 somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, it's a shame that I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads me to my number 2, which I don't know, the way we're going might end up being your number 1, and I kind of hope it's not.
Hope not, but
it's another Clint Eastwood movie.
Okay.
Is your number 1 a Clint Eastwood movie?
Nope.
Oh, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
You want to talk about a stellar cast?
I think I know what movie you're going to name.
And an amazing director.
Mm-hmm.
I went with Unforgiven.
Yeah, on my honorable mentions.
This is one of those movies that I remember having seen a bunch of Westerns before Unforgiven, because Unforgiven came out in 92.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see it in 92. I saw it later. I saw it maybe towards the end. I was in high school the first time I saw it. So had to be sometime between 94 and 98. And I remember comparing it to all the other Westerns I had seen before, and just walking out of the theater and being, they don't compare. Yeah. They don't compare to this movie. This movie is on another level in itself.
Yeah. My friend and I, we had a discussion once about Richard Harris's role in that movie and why it was necessary. And we both lighted on, because we had to see Gene Hackman's character. Mm-hmm. We had to see the viciousness of Little Bill. And we had to see it, not just be told about it.
Yeah.
And that's what really Richard Harris in that movie, that's what his role was to show us just that viciousness.
But I mean, you talk about a phenomenal cat. I mean, obviously directed by Clint Eastwood,
mm-hmm.
starring Clint Eastwood, as Bill Money.
Mm-hmm.
You had Gene Hackman, as you mentioned, Richard Harris, Morgan Freeman, Sal Rubinek. Like it's another powerhouse cast, and every one of them performs. Every one of them.
Yeah.
It's again, it's an amazing Western.
It's on my honorable mentions. I rewatched it last week just to be sure that it holds up, and it holds up.
I'm sure it does.
Like,
I mean, it's been almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Next year will be the 30th anniversary of Unforgiven, and it still holds up.
Yep. Yeah. It's just amazing.
But that leads us to our number 1 choices for our favorite Westerns. And I'm incredibly curious where you were going with yours.
So my number 1 contains my favorite line of any movie of any time.
Ooh,
the movie is Quigley Down Under.
I've never seen it.
Oh my God. It contains the best line ever. And I'm going to spoil it for you, because I can't help but talk about this movie without talking about this line. Is at the end, he says, I said I never had much use for one, never said I didn't know how to use it.
All right.
I don't want to. Do you mind if I spoil it? I love this.
No, go for it. Because
it's such an amazing.
It is on my list. Like, I mean, I've never seen it, but I do know. Like, I know it's Tom Selleck. I know it's Alan Rickman. So I know of it.
Okay.
I've just never seen it yet.
Through the whole movie, he's this long rifle sharpshooter using a rifle, and he at near the beginning of the movie, Alan Rickman kind of says that he's a pistol guy, and you're not familiar with Colonel Colt's invention, and Tom Selleck says some things about it. But then at the end, when he's facing down Alan Rickman and his guys in this final kind of showdown, Alan Rickman sticks the Colt in his belt and says, well, you're going to get your first lesson today. And as soon as Alan Rickman reaches, Tom Selleck just pulls the gun, 3 shots, mows them all down in just short order. And then when Alan Rickman looks up at him as he's putting that final coup de grace, he looks at him, he says that line, I said I never had much use for one. I never said I didn't know how to use it.
That's amazing.
It's such a wonderful, wonderful scene. And he plays that. And Laura San Giacomo is just delightful in it, and cute, and everything you would expect from Laura San Giacomo. So yeah, Quigley Down Under is my number 1 Western.
It is going to go on the ever-growing list of movies mentioned in Wilhelm that I need to watch. But I'm going to put it at the top. I'm going to put it towards the top because I am a big Tom Selleck fan. And when you hear the title Quigley Down Under, obviously you think Australia. So know this is an Australian Western.
Yep.
Which intrigues me even more.
Yeah, it's good. I think Rickman is he's such a good villain, and he established that, of course, in Die Hard, but in this movie, it's just really, it's good. And he's so rich, and I just love it.
Well, Quigley Down Under, Quigley Down Under was 1990, so this couldn't have been many years after Die Hard.
No, Die Hard was 88, so yeah, it was just a couple of years after.
So Rickman was still relatively new. To film at that point, because I think Die Hard was his first movie.
Okay. Yeah, Die Hard was his first feature film, I think, definitely in the United States, or big budget kind of thing. But
I'm gonna check it out.
It's so good. Very, very good.
Which leads me to my number 1. This is the one that was automatically number 1 when I when I thought about it. And it is, God, it's another movie. It's another one that I will watch any opportunity I get to watch this movie, which usually leads me to watching it 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay.
It's a Western from, I'm going to give you clues. It's a Western from 1994.
Okay.
That has Alfred Molina, Graham Greene, Jodie Foster, James Garner, and Mel Gibson.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
Maverick.
Yeah.
Maverick to me is such a fun movie. I don't know what it is about the movie that I love. I just love it.
It is. I mean, I haven't watched it. It's been years. I can't remember, in fact, the last time I watched it. So it's probably been at least 10 years or more. But yeah, it's a fun movie. I recall and Mel Gibson is just at the height of having that fun.
Yeah.
In this movie.
And I think he's pretty at the height of his career when he did this, or maybe not the height of his career, but I mean, this was also in between Lethal Weapon movies, because Maverick was directed by Richard Donner, who also did the Lethal Weapon movies. And there's such a fun scene in Maverick where Maverick is in the bank and the bank ends up getting robbed, and one of the robbers is actually Danny Glover.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
And they look at each other like they know each other from somewhere. And if you listen closely, the Lethal Weapon music plays in the background.
Oh, that's so cool.
Which is such like a little tie-in to them working together in Lethal Weapon. But I mean, it's kind of like, it's such a fun Western because it's got the action of a Western. It's got the storytelling of a Western. It's very comedic, which, which is fine. But there's so many elements of this movie that kind of flip Westerns on its head. One thought in particular, one moment in particular, is when they meet up with the group of Indians led by Graham Greene playing Chief Joseph. And like you always know cowboys and Indians to be enemies of each other, but these guys are friends.
Yeah.
And he's speaking to him in Indian, saying like, make something up and tell them that you want me to go with them, and just make Indian noises and like tell them you're gonna chop off my hands. And like it's such a fun dynamic that totally flips certain elements of Westerns on its head. And I love it. It's so much fun. It's such a fun movie that I couldn't. When we were talking Westerns, that was the first one to pop into my head. And I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to end up talking about it. Probably going to end up watching it when we're done recording.
I've got to put it on the list to rewatch pretty soon. So yeah.
I mean, and it's also based off the television series with James Garner,
which is so fun. Yeah. And then they end up, aren't they father and son?
They're father and son in the movie. Yep. Yeah.
Very cool.
Just a blast.
I love it.
So great top five from both of us. I love the fact that a lot of your top five were in my honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm.
And you also gave me a new one to add, which was Quigley Down Under.
Yeah. Sure.
But we have some honorable mentions.
I do. There's a few that weren't mentioned in your top five that I have in my honorable mentions. So,
and I have a couple in mine as well.
Okay.
So we can go through these relatively quickly. We don't have to dive into too much detail. But what's one of the movies on your honorable mentions?
Dances with Wolves.
It's a good choice. It's not in mine, but it's a good choice.
It's for me very quickly. It solidified Costner for me as a great actor. Like prior to that, he was kind of cookie cutter. He was kind of like Tom Cruise. You could put him in any movie and it's going to be a great movie. But with Dances with Wolves, I can't see anybody else playing that role other than him. Kind of like The Last Samurai for Tom Cruise. That movie, The Last Samurai, did that for Tom Cruise for me. I can't see anybody else playing that character.
I'm trying to remember, was Dances with Wolves before or after Robin Hood?
Now that I'd have to look up.
Dances with Wolves was 1990. If I take a look at Kevin Costner, which I'm doing now, going back to 1990, Bull Durham was 88. Field of Dreams was 89. Dances with Wolves was 90. Robin Hood was 91.
Okay.
So they were pretty much back to, man, just looking at that, you had Untouchables in 87, Bull Durham in 88, Field of Dreams in 89, Dances with Wolves in 90, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves 91, JFK 91, Bodyguard 92, Wyatt Earp, which is on my honorable mentions, 1994. Like, man, that man's had a career.
Yeah, he has.
That was his heyday.
Yep.
But since I mentioned it, one of my honorable mentions was Wyatt Earp.
Another good one. I haven't watched that one in a while.
And Wyatt Earp was one of those ones that I remember. Not only do I remember it being a great movie, with Costner and Dennis Quaid, Gene Hackman, another great Western with Gene Hackman. One of the other distinctive things I remember about this movie was the fact that when it was released on VHS, it was one of those 2 VHS rentals.
Yes, I remember it being super long.
Yeah, it was it's over 3 hours long.
Wow.
It's like 3 hours and 15 minutes, if I remember, like 3 hours and 10, 3 hours and 15 minutes. So it had to be 2 VHS tapes when you rented it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But yeah. What's another honorable mention?
One that we haven't mentioned here was The Quick and the Dead.
That's on my honorable mentions as well.
Another great cast, Sharon Stone, Leo, and just everybody.
Yeah, that's in my honorable mentions as well. Let's see, True Grit I already mentioned, so I'm gonna double up on this one and I'm gonna go Young Guns and Young Guns 2.
That was next on my honorable mentions list as well.
Man, a young cast in Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen, who were brothers, so you had brothers teaming up. Lou Diamond Phillips, Christian Slater, like Kiefer Sutherland. God, such
William Peterson in that second one.
Peterson, playing what the hell? I know
the name. The name's escaping me right now.
Yeah,
Pat Garrett. Yes.
Yeah. I forget who he replaced in the first movie.
He wasn't anybody. I don't think he was somebody back then, but I don't think he's anybody who, like, he's only in like one scene with like one line.
Yeah. It's a very quick role. And I think it's at the end of the movie.
No, it's at the beginning when they're at the party, when they're having the New Year's Eve party.
That's right.
And he's going to go dance. So
yeah.
Yep.
What is another honorable mention?
310 to Yuma, both versions.
Good movie.
There's the original version, and then the one with Russell Crowe is really good.
I've only seen the Russell Crowe version. I've never seen the original. I might have to go back and check that out. I went with The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Very good. Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Excellent movie. I did not know what to expect, but I was highly entertained. I was very pleased by how it was.
I've never seen that, so I may have to bump that up on my list as well of movies to watch.
Yeah, 2007. It's a good flick. What's another one from your list?
The next one I have is The Wild Bunch from 1969. You may have never even heard of it. It was directed by Sam Peckinpah.
I've heard of it.
Okay, it was directed by Sam Peckinpah. It had Ernest Borgnine, William Holden, a great cast. Just a, aging old kind of bank robbers. And just what happens to them. It's kind of a long movie, but it's good. The Wild Bunch.
Cool. I went with, for one of mine, I went with a Tarantino film. I went with The Hateful Eight.
Okay.
With Kurt Russell.
Yeah. And Samuel L. Jackson.
Kurt Russell and Samuel L. Jackson. Yes. It's one of the two Westerns that Tarantino did. It is out of the two Westerns that Tarantino did, it's the one I actually enjoyed.
Really? Okay. I remember going to see that in the theater, and it had an intermission. Like I hadn't been to a movie that had an intermission in.
Well, wait, are you thinking of Hateful Eight, or are you thinking of oh God, what was it called? It was Death Proof, and because I saw Hateful Eight. I don't remember Hateful Eight having an intermission.
If I remember, I could be misremembering. I never saw Death Proof and Planet Terror in the theater, so I never saw Grindhouse in the theater.
Grindhouse, that was it. Yep.
Yeah, I never saw Grindhouse in the theater, but I remember seeing Hateful Eight, and I'm pretty sure it had an intermission because there was a big deal about the fact that he filmed it actually on film. They didn't do it. It wasn't digital. It wasn't. They actually used actual film stock to film it on. There was some thing about that.
There is an intermission in the Roadshow version of The Hateful Eight.
Okay.
So yeah, you remember correctly.
So the last one I have, or trilogy I have on my honorable mentions is the Man with No Name trilogy from Clint Eastwood, which is Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
They're such great movies.
Oh, so good. Don't worry about the continuity. Don't try to deal with continuity.
Yeah, they're amazing movies.
Mm-hmm.
They're so good.
Yeah.
I have two left on my list, and I'll knock them out real quick. The first one is, it's kind of iffy as to whether or not you count this one as a Western. I count it as a gangster / Western, in the fact that it is a mob war, but it takes place in an old West town, and that is Last Man Standing.
That's great, because that's Fistful of Dollars. It's the same movie.
Is it the same movie?
Which one was the one that was in Back to the Future 2?
That's Fistful of Dollars.
Okay,
Back
so it's for a few dollars more is Last Man Standing.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that being so similar.
Two battling houses, and he's going in between
the
two in For a Few Dollars More. It's a little bit different, but yeah, it's the same movie. I remember this is a funny story for military. We went to see For a Few Dollars. We went to see Last Man Standing because I had seen it actually before I got to Korea. And it was so good. And so when it hit the base theater, I told my buddies, I was like, we got to go see this movie, Last Man Standing. It's so amazing. And we went to see it on Saturday. We've been drinking like all day. And so we got there, and they were like, it's only like $1. I was like, I'll pay for you guys to see this movie. And so we walk in, we get in there, and we get our seats. And the middle guy just passes out at the very beginning of the movie, and he's out the whole movie. When the movie ends, he gets up. He's like, what did I miss? I go, did you see For a Few Dollars More? Same movie.
That's the same movie.
Yeah. So yeah, Last Man. I love it. That's a good movie.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Bruce Willis, Christopher Walken, Bruce Dern, like another great cast. And I didn't put together that it was so similar to that one, but I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the last one I have is I saved for last because it's very different than any other Western we have talked about in the sense that it is a Western horror film.
Okay.
And I went with Bone Tomahawk.
Oh, so good. Kurt Russell,
Kurt
right?
Russell.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell, Richard Jenkins, Patrick Wilson, Matthew Fox, David Arquette, Sid Haig.
Oh,
I mean, come on. It's a Western with Sid Haig. Like but it is a Western horror because they are
disturbing.
Yeah. But so good.
I think I've only watched it once because that's all I could handle. Like you're right. It was really, really good.
Yeah. It's really, really well done. I mean, especially when you think about the fact that like a Western horror, like how's that going to be? And then you watch Bone Tomahawk and you're like, yep, that's how it could be.
Yeah. Oh, I did think of just one other one.
Sure.
That is, it's not a Western, but it is a Western because it's in space though. And that's a very old movie called Battle Beyond the Stars.
I've never heard of it.
It's Battle Beyond the Stars. It's got John Boy. I can't think of his name from the Waltons is in it. Robert Vaughn is in it. And it's basically Seven Samurai, the Magnificent Seven in space.
Oh,
where they get this.
And what's it called again?
It's called Battle Beyond the Stars.
Battle Beyond the Stars. That is going on the Wilhelm list.
It's a cheesy 70s movie. So just realize that's
know that going in. I got it.
But yeah, no, if you know that going in, and if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I watched it, but it's basically the same thing. Seven Samurai, that same kind of plot of you bringing together a team to go liberate a town or liberate something.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah. So great honorable mentions, top 5, both. Like I said, I have new movies added to the Wilhelm list, which happens every episode. I don't even know if I'm ever going to get to all these movies. It's ridiculous. But as I mentioned at the top, you're the co-host of Panels to Pixels. Before we wrap up, tell everybody what's been going on with Panels to Pixels, what's coming up, and where people can hear it.
So we've kind of been on a little bit of a hiatus since What If ended, and Mark has kind of been in a transition period of where he's living. So we're kind of on a hiatus, but we will be coming back with Hawkeye at the end of this month. So you can check us out on all your podcast players of choice, Panels to Pixels podcast, and it's on YouTube as well as Panels to Pixels podcast.
Nice. Yeah, it's a fun podcast. I've been on it a number of times with you guys as well, and talking some of the shows that you guys talk. And I know I came on with you at one point. You had me and our friend Pake come on, and we just geeked out about Scott Pilgrim for a while. Yeah. And yeah, it's a great podcast. It's part of the Next Level Podcast Network, which is part of where Wilhelm is as well. You and Mark do a great job with that show, and
thank you.
You guys have been part of the network for a number of years now, so I'm glad you guys stuck around.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark started his own damn network, but he's been loyal with Panels, and he's kept it with Next Level. So
yeah.
I appreciate that, and you guys do great. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about Hawkeye, and I'm really looking forward to Hawkeye.
Yeah, I'm every time I see another trailer for it, I'm just get more excited. About it. So, and I don't Seinfeld again.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's right. Yeah, and I don't know if, on the topic of what you guys talk about, I don't know if you saw the leaks that came out today on Spider-Man Far No Way Home. I will not mention them now because I don't want listeners to, if they don't want to know, I don't want them to know. As to whether or not I tell you when we're done is whether or not you want to know. So we'll talk.
I want to know. So
okay, we'll talk about that when we're done recording.
Take a few minutes after. Yeah.
But yeah, Panels to Pixels. Anywhere, I highly recommend it. Anywhere podcasts are found, you can find it. As for Wilhelm, if you like what you hear on the podcast, be sure to leave me a review of the show on Apple Podcasts or whatever platform you're listening on, if they allow you to leave reviews. The more reviews I get, the more people I'm able to reach and the more I'm able to do. So they're always highly encouraged. Also be sure to follow Wilhelm on social media, facebook.com/the Wilhelm podcast, and at the Wilhelm pod on Instagram. I'm not going to mention Twitter anymore because I don't use it. I just finally started using Instagram for crying out loud. So Facebook, Facebook.com/the Wilhelm Podcast, and at the Wilhelm Podcast on Instagram. Finally, if you want to be a guest or you have an idea for a topic or anything you want to hear me talk about, film franchise, whatever, you can contact me directly by emailing me at thewilhelmpodcast@gmail.com. Steve, thank you so much for coming back.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure it won't be the last time.
I'm sure. Pencil me in for the Clint Eastwood episode for sure.
That will do. I think you were already on my radar to do that episode anyway. So, because I know you're a big fan. So, this was a lot of fun. Thank you to all the listeners out there. I'm in absolute shock. I don't know why. I don't ordinarily check reviews, even though I check written reviews, but I don't check like starred reviews or things like that. Wilhelm's at a 5-star review on Apple, so I'm incredibly happy about that. So thank you for all that. Thank you for the positive feedback. Thank you for everything. Look forward. We have Jason, my friend Jason Kabasi, who did the very first episode of Wilhelm, is going to be returning next week. We're going to be talking our top 5 favorite Steve Martin films, which is going to be another tough topic. Coming up in early December, we have the Matrix episode because the new Matrix is coming out at the end of the month. I'm going to be on Watched It in the 80s in the next couple weeks to talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, that last trailer.
Right? Can't wait. So Damien joined me on here to talk about the Ghostbusters franchise, so it's only fair. I'm going to return over there and we're going to do the review of Ghostbusters Afterlife on Watched It in the 80s. And then also at the end of December, you can expect some holiday themed Christmas episodes as well. Going into January, kicking off 2022 with James Bond month.
I'm intrigued. I have not watched all the James Bond movies, so I may have to petition to jump in on one of those. Maybe.
I'm still looking for hosts for that one, so if you want to get in,
I'm a big George Lazenby fan, so
there's only one George Lazenby Bond movie though. I don't even know if I'm covering it, to be honest with you.
You have to because it's in the continuity. You have to set up that.
I'll squeeze it into one of the episodes. Well, because the format of Bond month is going to be every episode is going to be a different James Bond actor. Okay, so I'm going to have to fit him in somewhere.
Just squeeze him in with like Brosnan or one of the short-term guys.
Well, it'll be wherever actually he might have to fit into Connery.
I was going to say he was in between Connery and
he was
Moore,
in between Connery films. Yeah. So he might have to fit into the Connery episode. Okay. Might have to just toss him in there. But yeah, January is going to be fun for Bond month. That's going to be a blast. And that might go into February too, because there's a lot of Bond movies to go.
I'll start doing my research now. I'll start watching.
We'll talk. Yeah. We'll talk about get you on one of those. Hey, and any listeners out there, if you're interested in being a part of Bond month, you want to be a co-host in one of those episodes, you know how to reach me. I gave you all the info. Go back and check it out. But again, thank you everybody for being a part of the audience and all the great feedback. But until next time, we'll see you on the next episode of Wilhelm. Take care.
Bye.